Lambert,
Hello.
interview.
Sounds good to me.
All right, so what happened this session? How do you
Um,
progress? What are your concerns?
So I had spoken to Genoa before the session started, and he immediately, before we even unpaused, unallied with Lucca. So I was immediately able to attack Lucca. While that was going on, Popeman attacked Naples, so I sent majority of my army to help him with that, because I didn't need much in Lucca. After that, Bavaria went to war with with Milan, and he broke the personal union between Milan and Massa, so I was able to eat Massa. Then there was a long case of waiting for AE to drip down, waiting for manpower, all this kind of stuff. Attacked Naples again with Pope. Became Tuscany, which is amazing. I don't know how I did it, but I just got an event saying, oh, by the way, you're a monarchy now. And I'm like, fuck yeah. So then I formed Tuscany, which is a much nicer color. I'm a monarchy, which is amazing. And yeah.
Are you going to interview people then, Damien?
He's interviewing me right now.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Bavaria was asking me about possibility of carving up Montferrat, who was listening. So yeah, there was a little backroom talk about that. He wanted originally to go all the way down to Pavia, and I just was not happy with that at all. I knew I wasn't going to be able to take much from Montferrat in any case, because it was just my AE is still recovering from the coalition in, like, what was it, like the second or third session. So yeah, so I declared on Mantua, was thinking that Montferrat might join. He took the prestige hit instead. And then so I rivaled him and declared a humiliation war to help out Bavaria. And then, he stack wiped me with relatively similar sized... No, he had twice the amount of men that I did.
Yeah.
And that was painful. That was very painful. And that's actually led me to get a peasants' war in right now, because I don't have half morale... what's called manpower, and my legitimacy is utter trash right now. So yeah, I'm in a peasants' war. Just fun.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. It said I would lose a stability, but I didn't. I don't think. I think I was still only at 1, or I might have been at 2, but not noticed. So I don't really care so much.
Becoming a robot, you're kind of man of the. Are you able to talk?
How do you have so many friends, man? Jesus.
So that was impressive, the way you and Genoa and AI Genoa basically for a while fought everybody to a standstill.
Yeah. I got a pretty lucky stack wipe on Florence to begin with, and then I marched back up to Bavaria, and I stack wiped a couple of German armies, and then I just hung around for a long time until the Papal States and Granada, came in with an overwhelming number of troops, and then Bavaria ended up coming in, and yeah. But it was a good war. It was a successful war for me.
Yeah, I almost didn't. I had nothing against you.
Is he cutting out for anyone else?
Yeah, David is cutting out.
Dang it. Okay, let me get pushed.
I think we should all murder Damien for his inability to.
If it was a conquest war, I would have not accepted the white peace from the Germans. I wasn't thinking that they'd be able to do very much before we managed to siege down Lombardia.
That was an interesting session, I'm pretty sure, for basically everyone.
No, Florence, I was really hoping you were going to stay in the war, and because there was about, I think there was 40k Germans marching through Bavaria to join my 20k stack, and I think it would have been interesting anyway.
It definitely would have been. But yeah, I mean, everything worked out fine. We're all friends again, right? Right? Yeah. Friends.
We are not.
I just think that people shouldn't expand. They should just build their cities forever. Is that too hard? Is that too much to ask?
Everyone should expand except Hansa, who is currently expanding.
Yeah, I mean, Hansa's scary now. I think you should interview
The Livonian
Bavaria
Order was
next.
probably the biggest winner out of this entire session.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my god, they pretty much took over all of Sweden in one fell swoop.
I mean,
And Lithuania.
I'm sorry, Granada may have won this session.
They connected their Teutonic Order and original homelands together.
to be fair, they're about to declare war on
allies faithfully. That's why I won. Okay, so Papal States, do you have anything to say? Is Papal States here? I guess not.
Apparently not. Apparently
No,
he has
he's in,
nothing
yeah,
to
he's in
say.
Aegean.
All right. Well, let's move on. Let's head east. That was an interesting little war out there. I was not expecting Wallachia to steamroll so many people. Well, not so much steamroll, but
my weight.
yeah. Go ahead.
At the beginning of I made a really big mistake at the beginning of the war, actually. Basically, I split my stacks up to avoid attrition, and I was moving them one at a time for whatever reason, and one of them got pounced on stack wiped, and I just sort of ended. I had to retreat past the forts, and they were able to siege them down by the time I could rebuild my army, and then Venice's navy, obviously, I couldn't beat. So at that point, I was just sort of waiting for Retina to peace out.
And then we're waiting for you to peace out.
Well, he eventually
No,
was able.
yeah.
I didn't think he could get enough troops to beat me. I was wrong. And since his stated goal was to burn my country to the ground, I just unconditionally surrendered when he had lost that battle. 'Cause,
Yeah, rather than
yeah.
rack up war exhaustion and et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
That was interesting. I wish it seemed like there should have almost been a white peace earlier because you guys were it was like a 10-year war or something. You just kept going on and on, deadlocked too for the longest time.
It was very
could I-
unpleasantly long, sir.
Could I possibly ask the Eastern powers how Retina got that many surprise troops? Or how they think that happened?
They told me how it happened.
Muslim magic.
It was apparently
Muslim magic.
Georgia funneled their money into Venice and Retina. I
Okay.
guess is what I heard.
Georgia funneled all their money into Venice and Aretna, and
Georgia didn't have that much money. They gave me like maybe a total of
Well,
like
Okay,
100
they have-
ducats. Come
they
on
have
now.
Well,
What you
Milton
told me was
13.
your alliance basically pulled their money.
Yeah, we did.
Okay,
Yeah.
where did it come from, anyways?
All three of us
Just like
had a little bit of money when the war started, so we spent that money. I personally really messed over my estates doing a lot of this war. It was really
Yeah,
costly.
Oh yeah, my
And you
estate
screwed over my capital really
My
bad, so...
States are really mad.
Yeah, I
Well,
thought
one
this,
of them.
I thought this war with no gain and half my land was sucked.
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
Yeah, Ragusa.
A
Ragusa
literal
was the
worthless
person
nation got his entire, nation looted because Wallachia is a jerk.
I mean, he wouldn't stop sieging down my provinces.
Yeah, to be fair, the Ragusan guerrilla army was like Viet Cong style.
This is basically Viet Cong.
It's not that wrong.
No, he's not. And the
They were
Ragusa
like,
also
they were
got.
in Greece, then they were up in Bulgaria, then they were up in Moldavia, and they were just running around.
I know this. All of these areas were occupied, and I'm like, what is happening?
It was literally a one stack of Ragusa.
Yeah.
doing all of that.
I see these huge armies facing off across the Sea of Marmara, and I'm squinting over in Greece. Why is Greece occupied by Venice? What is going on?
Yeah, that was not Venetian troops. That
No,
was,
the-
Yeah.
And then
Out of everyone in that war in the East, Ragusa punched so far above their weight. They were
Oh, come
occupied,
on. They never occupied anything
At
of
the very
importance.
end, they got an event that gave them a 100 tradition general that could finally match the Wallachians.
Yeah.
That was
Oh
it.
yeah, that was huge.
Yeah,
I had
it
my
was
6 shock
bad
general.
too.
Can
I
I?
had 4 fire and 6 shock general to end the war.
Also, shock damage is received minus 10%.
Yeah, after the first battle we fought, he got minus 10% shock damage, turning a fairly evenly lost fight into a 5,000 versus 2,000 loss fight.
Ragusa just has the best generals, period.
Kind
No,
of weird.
no, they do not.
You have
Yeah.
a -6, whatever
I have a
So guys, real quick. Let's not digress. I'm gonna go to Portugal for an interview since he has to go. Portugal, how did the session go?
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck your mother. Fuck your wife.
Proper response.
Fuck the little Mongol ponies. Beavers and fucking hate.
Well, fuck you, Portugal. I'm not emperor thanks to you.
Yeah.
Good night, sweet friend.
Hey, Bavaria. Hey, I managed to. So I got killed immediately. It took if you hadn't taken Lisbon, I actually probably would have continued to actually play the game. But after that, I was just like, oh man, I'm just dead. So I was just like, I'm gonna just get a bunch of money and funnel that and let other people fight my wars. But I actually made surprisingly good money up until you sacked me the second time.
You had no army, right? So you just basically were cranking out ducats.
I was making I was making between 7 and 10 ducats a month. So
Yeah,
it was, it was
that
good
is what
money.
I make without maintenance.
Yeah. So no, I literally had no army or a navy. I sold my navy and I disbanded my army. I was like, I can't win. So I went and so Wallachia did some really bad diplomacy initially. So my job, I went to the Russians. I was like, hey, I should be your diplomat because Wallachia fucking sucks. And they're like, yeah. And so I decided to become their diplomat, and I proceeded to annoy Ares for every time Ares would be like, I'm like, Ares, how can we end this war?
It's
At
not
year
a
one, I
difficult
was like
thing,
that.
to be honest.
Year and a half, I was like that, and I was on Ares every single 6 months. I was there, and I was offering loans to both sides. I was like,
why are you so proud of this?
mainly because it's Ares. It's Ares. I don't like Ares.
People don't like me. I don't know why.
You're a little bit of a dick. Just a little bit of a dick.
Next, we've digressed. Next interview.
Gotta go.
Okay, who's next now? Venice. I guess we kind of talked with that alliance.
Kinda.
So I guess we don't really need to talk to Venice then. Let's see. Kiev and Russia. What's going on up there?
No one gonna ask about
Intrigue, diplomacy, betrayal, backstabbing. Some of it ours. No,
But
we're not
you
sure.
haven't even fought any players recently. Why all the betrayal and backstabbing, etc.?
they were allied to Wallachia.
Yeah, we're allied to Wallachia.
Were.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
Does Wallachia have long to live?
No.
Probably.
Potentially, if they get PU'd by Russia.
Which is a fear that will happen.
That is possible, actually.
They're
I
basically
have
a vassal
awful
of
luck
Russia
with
already.
heirs.
The Germans would have to stop paying attention to Granada if that happens.
I have nothing the whole Eastern Bloc has the Rurikovic.
Yeah, yeah,
That is
Russia,
Russia, yeah.
Russia and Wallachia are both Rurikovic, and then
Yeah,
Maya
it's
is Rurikovic.
Also Kiev.
Wow.
Also Kiev.
That's a dynasty right there.
Hey guys, look, if Wallachia dies, there will be a succession war.
If
Between
We already know.
if Russia
Yeah, but
could
the
put one
Wallachian
of
ruler
those,
is 35, so that's not good.
Russia and Kiev, haha. That's funny.
So Russia basically looks like you're just eating into the white horde. It's
Russia's
just like,
crazy, man.
you just have this massive area to devour.
Literally no
Oh, you're in the blue horde. Wow. I guess they're allies, so you're just...
Damian, you know you border the white horde. You have a border.
Right.
Is anyone gonna ask my side?
Here, man, I'll interview you. But how's it going, Aries? What happened this session?
It's been rough. I put a ton of good faith towards Wallachia and tried to be a good friend of theirs, and I got basically lied to like 8 times in the course of 5 seconds about what was happening with the Ottomans. When the war started, got my entire army wiped to start. I call basically all of my states to like maximum possible to pull off a victory. Basically, Wallachia made themselves a bad ally to their friends, and so they weren't able to call them in, so that helped a lot. Yeah, and basically it came down to I needed to catch up in tech to beat Wallachia. If we were even on tech in that war, it would have been a stomp. Because we had more troops and more manpower because we had a 3-person alliance versus 1 person alone. So yeah, it would have been an easy war to win if I wasn't lied to, got my whole army stack wiped, and then was way behind them on tech. So it was basically a lot of waiting for the right tech. I needed to get something like tech 15. So I dropped a bunch of my admin points. I just had to wait a couple of years to get my my military tech up, and then built some mercenaries and went in.
I was almost really surprised how fast you're able to do that, by the way.
Seems almost like you got lucky, given that you had good allies willing to throw in behind you. Because I was shocked by how many soldiers Wallachia had. After all that they ate recently, I thought they would be more overextended. I thought they would have. I don't know how
they never had to fight any of the rebels because
that was my
them
estates.
Remember?
Oh, that's right. Because you have pretty damn big estates.
So how mad are you?
Someone else has big estates.
My greater nobles are at 13%. My burghers are at 26%.
And
oh god!
What's it called? And the last thing was, my 2 biggest cities of Izmir and Bursa got leveled. I was on high looting.
Oh, they're not leveled.
I guess Wallachia. No. Please let me finish. I guess Wallachia had me on strongly encouraged looting. I had them on strongly encouraged looting, but it didn't hurt Constantinople that much at all.
I wasn't on strongly encouraged.
If you look at Bursa, you will see the current buildings. I can tell you, I had a merchant place, I had a level 2 city hall, I had a level 4 mine. So they killed my level 4 mine, dropped it down to level 3. They killed my merchant place, and they dropped down the level of my town hall. Literally like somewhere between 1,200 and 1,600 ducats of urban infrastructure killed, and it was put up to 60, what's the word? Province devastation or whatever. Up to 60 province devastation. Right after, at the very start of this game, there was a famine across all of Mina.
Oh god.
Gee, I wonder what could cause that famine.
It's really weird.
Yeah. Maybe like a traditional bread basket.
It's just a
had
giant
a lot of war.
freaking mess.
So yeah, I've had my nation really beat up. I just wanted to chill out and try and see if I could get rid of my negative loyalty, the loyalty modifier, but I was never allowed to have peace because I was backstabbed after putting a lot of trust in someone. So
all right, well, let's move on to the next interviews. I'm so sorry you were backstabbed, etc. We have to talk to the warmongering Germans.
Oh, those
I would like
label.
Oh my! I take that as a grievous insult to my personal ability to be able to diplomatize with other nations.
I feel personally betrayed by the Blaze. I thought we had something going with us, you know, because I say your
we
name
had
real
something
sexy.
going until you brought the filthy heathens into the Catholic lands.
What?
Yeah. You who wanted to convert to Protestant? Fuck off.
All I did.
They're not heathens. They're just merely slightly misguided.
They don't read the same book. They're heathens.
I answered the call faithfully. That's all I did. Okay, so Germans, what's going on up there?
Well, so in actual in background information, what actually happened before all this drama was, I expanded into the rest of what I wanted to take out of Sweden. We killed France because fuck France, right? Like,
yes,
yeah.
Fuck France very much.
Yep.
You should have just let me attack them earlier, Peter.
Damien, could I go next?
Actually, let's do Peter first. Okay, Peter, go ahead.
So, I've been talking with the Germans all week, hoping to get them to help me kill France so that I can eventually break free. I am large enough to break free, but I haven't done so yet because there's a few French vassals and such that I would like to kill first. Also because I have more than 50 AE with quite a few countries. However, there were 2 separate German wars against France, so they were left quite weakened. They have bad military tech, and most of the army was wiped out, and I imagine that their manpower was nigh non-existent. So, a few years later, while I gobble up some of the other miners, Burgundy and Brittany declare independence. And then a month or 2 after that, England declares some conquest war as well. And I decide, hey, I should be a faithful vassal, not because it's land that I want to take later, so I don't want to see it burnt to the ground. So I essentially fight off rebellious vassals and foreign invaders for France, and I don't get anything at all.
Told you. France took every piece of equity in land except for your cores.
Yeah.
That is a dick move.
And it's
And
not
I
something
have,
AI
like-
usually does.
I had like 70% war participation in that war.
I mean, okay, let's be fair to France for a moment. I think what really happened was the King of France saw that he was being invaded by Germans, and he called upon his faithful vassal, the Anjou, and then nothing happened.
And you can see a lot of ravens just flying out of the Anjou capital towards Germany.
Not a lot of ravens. He can see German armies going to the capital of Anjou and saying hi. Like, how are you doing? And then moving on to
Just peacefully moving through Anjou to loot Brittany and never touching Anjou lands.
Indeed. Well, you
at
were
that
touching
point-
it. You were just mashing straight through.
If I were the King of France, I'd be like, nah, fuck this dude.
Yeah, and it was glorious. Just the Anjou troops just lay down a silk carpet for us to walk over to Brittany.
And might I say,
Basically, yeah.
Okay, let's move the focus.
A last thing. I got Champion of the Joust, the event that gives you 100% tradition general. In addition to that, I have leadership ideas, and I get +3 pips from my own national ideas. So I got a 6654 general that I got to use in those wars against.
Damn.
Yeah, I got that event too. I got a 5632 during my war with Montferrat. I wish I had that at the start. I might not have got stack wiped.
Jousting doesn't exist in the East. I've never seen that event.
let's move on. Let's move on for time. Let's go.
Okay, Germans, we're going back to you. Aside from interfering in Italian affairs, what else were you up to?
Expanding.
Eating cologne.
I
I noticed you were keeping imperial peace by obliterating Cologne, which was interesting.
Well, no.
Well, they wanted
were,
imperial dispeace, so
Yes, exactly. We were disciplining.
The word you're looking for is war.
We were disciplining a annoying subject that was trying to disturb the peace between the alliances.
He also apparently was seeking help from the
From the
Sultan of
Muslims.
Granada.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe his
Yeah.
first words to the Empire were, "So how do you want to kill other Imperial members?" And his last
he
words to the
basic-
Empire were, "Oh, I almost got thousands of ducats from Demian."
Which
I
would
was
not
never
have
gonna
helped
send him
him
thousands
in
of
any way.
ducats.
I'm actually very disappointed that he didn't take those thousands of ducats, because then we could have taken them in the peace.
I was never going to send him thousands of ducats.
Hundreds
You
of
should have.
ducats.
I sense the presence of many a Nasrid faced coin all over Europe here, and maybe in
It's
southern
true.
Germany even.
Let me just say something really quick. I had no interest whatsoever in interfering in any German affairs whatsoever. This is me interviewing myself, by the way. No interest in interfering with imperial affairs until all of the Germans decided suddenly they wanted to march down to Granada and kick my ass. So
We did not
I am
decide
just returning the favor with counter
We
conspiracy.
did not decide that.
Everything that someone says before the word "but" is bullshit.
No.
That's
I had you can watch my streams. I had an arrangement with Portugal. We had Spain cut down the middle. I gave him money. We were friends. I thought we were friends. And then there's this big conspiracy. I have to assume that he wasn't the only one behind this trying to motivate it. I'm presuming, at least I saw screenshots of Cowboy Hansa basically saying, hey, we need to kick Granada in the balls somehow. And that was...
everyone wanted to do that.
It was Cowboy, Wallachia, and YMN that were pushing it.
And
So
what
you think that
And what
us,
did I do?
Wanda
And
was
what did
common
I do
players
to
here?
anyone? Had I interfered in anybody's affairs up to that point? No.
I was only pushing it because I thought that if we were gonna do it, we should at least do it preemptively. Rather than just waiting
kill
for
the
whole thing
person
to
who
fall
hasn't
apart.
tried to kill.
To defend myself, to
Oh,
defend
can
myself.
just as a notice, anyone who declares a preemptive strike is always the bad guy. Just in case you didn't notice that.
No, when the United States declared a preemptive strike on Iraq recently, that was totally
Yes,
justified.
exactly. And when Bavaria
Surprisingly,
declared a
event-
preemptive
legitimate-
strike
went
against
so well.
Montferrat, which is, by the way, how he called it.
One moment, gentlemen. One moment, gentlemen. If I can defend myself, I feel like I've been thrown egregious allegations by Mr. Demian. And to the chat,
You egregiously tried to kick me in the balls, dude. I don't
to
appreciate
the
it.
chat who might be watching, I know that there is a legendary love story between myself and Demian, and it's been a thing for a very long time. But we're just gonna have to take some time off from each other. And you know what, kids, it doesn't impact you at all. I'm just saying that we're gonna take a little break and we're gonna figure it out, and hopefully
Wait,
someday
he's
we can
trying
come
to-
back together.
But
Are you
where will
breaking
I
up with-
sleep?
You are the sultan to my soda, cowboy. But
Oh yeah, dog.
But where will the kids stay?
But you conspired against me, and the pomegranate always pays his debts. So
Here's the thing. I told Demian face to face that, in my opinion, the entire thing was mishandled by a couple of people, and I mean, even like the base idea that Demian knew there was a conspiracy to kill him is already a problem, right? Like, if
Yeah.
you're gonna conspire to kill someone, don't tell them.
Also, don't invite 17 people into a chat and all the same chat.
Obviously.
What was that?
I had like 5 people come to me with like screenshots.
Clearly.
Yeah, there was
Like,
there was also there was that, and there's also like a fair few backroom things going on that like
Yeah.
fucking.
As
3
soon as I
people
saw
knew.
that chat, I was like, "This is stupid. I'm gonna create my own private chat where people can't like lie and do stupid things." But anyways, the idea behind the Hanseatic international relations, international policy, etc., is that, and I told this pretty much to Demian. If Demian,
Germany is basically what it's supposed to be, right?
the idea was
You
that
consider
if
yourself the puppet master who shall, have his hounds go galloping down to Granada when you bid it. And
hey, I would go galloping down too, sir.
Scampering. It's more like scampering. That's I guess,
Wow. You know,
Germany has
that's
that many
rude.
horses? I thought they only had that many horses in the east.
Sorry, continue, cowboy.
The base idea, and I told this as much as Demian, is that if Demian goes into Italy, shit's gonna go fucking crazy. And Demian didn't go into Italy. He instead went to Portugal, which, and Demian will also tell you this. I have told Demian in the past. Demian complaining like, I wish I could just kill Portugal and not be a nice dude. I have repeatedly told Demian in the past that if he feels like it's best for his nation to kill Portugal, he should fucking murder Portugal. Which, moment of silence.
Well, what I said, I didn't say I wish I could kill Portugal. I said I was scared of Portugal.
You broke the moment of silence.
You couldn't even give me the moment of silence. Come on, dude.
Last session, he was scared of Hafsid. That's this is the first thing he says before killing
Oh,
someone. I'm scared of him.
Subi, you said you wouldn't bring this up, dude, and here you are doing it again. Don't make me have to defend myself.
But anyway,
The fact that you flipped nations 8 times should say something about the play style.
But anyways,
Hey, that's a
how
low
you
blow, man.
That's how you shift attention. That's like nicely done. I mean, I don't think anyone falls for it, but
about that,
anyhow,
but it doesn't matter.
Anyhow, Mr. Demian did the smart thing. He went to war with Portugal before anyone could improve relations, and he didn't take land in Italy, which is great, smart, wonderful, fine.
I
To be
broke my
honest
alliance
with
with France. That's what you guys wanted. I broke my alliance with France. I did it.
Perfect. To be honest with you, like I'm basically one of the most far away countries. Like there's very little things that Granada could actively do in gameplay mechanics to interact with my country.
Only if you
where
declare on me.
Yes.
Even then.
Where I drew the line was I basically, and I think I've made this position fairly clear for most of the people. Italy, in my opinion, is a very precarious fucking, like, imagine the most precarious thing you can and then put an elephant on top of that. I worry
What are you
that
saying?
without...
That's
Sorry?
bullshit, dude. That's bullshit.
I worry that without a certain amount of Italian powers, there's going to be a North Italy and a South Italy, and both of them are going to be allied with West Italy, which is Spain. Which, by the way,
No, you mean Granada.
if you look at the player map mode, like don't be fooled by Granada's little vassals. Like that shit's terrifying if you look at it.
Yeah.
I've been fighting wars to help the Italians for a long time with no expectation of gain for myself.
Yeah.
And I have no interest in killing Genoa or Venice. I mean, even if Montferrat were out of the picture, it would be Genoa, Venice, Florence, Papal States. That's 4 people in Italy.
Oh, wow.
Demian,
Wait.
have you seen the
Galicia.
development
Wait.
of the
Demian, quick. Galicia, Leon, Aragon. Who else is your vassal?
Oh, you're talking about my. I thought you were okay. I misunderstood.
Are we counting Florence and Papal States as vassals?
Tuscany and
basically, but they're not important.
Independent kingdom. I'm not a republic. I'm a king. I am planning on staying a king.
Without the heathens coming in there.
Honestly, I could have done it with just Papal States, but I didn't have any morale and I didn't have my god general at the time.
Wow, I didn't realize how scary Granada was, but someone pointed out their vassals. Oh my goodness,
He
they
basically
already
owns all of Arabia.
I thought those were all independent nations.
I removed all possible threats that people could use as a land.
Wow.
They're independent,
That's
democratic
terrifying.
vessels.
So, anyways, like I draw the line at killing an Italian player, basically.
It wasn't me that was killing an Italian player. It was
I know.
another Italian.
I feel like Italy is none of your business, Mr. Denmark.
I think you're gonna have to draw a lot more lines.
The problem for me wasn't that it wasn't necessarily that Granada was killing Montferrat. It was that Tuscany and the Pope were killing Montferrat. And then what the fuck? Bavaria's killing Montferrat?
Right,
What
after
is
you
happening?
guys killed Cologne. After you guys killed Cologne and Germany's way.
Cologne! Listen, how many times are we going to tell you that Cologne was the problem with the Empire in the first place? They had to go.
No. You know what? I'm going to say you're just a band of vultures.
Wow.
Can I ask an
The difference between you and me is that I'm actually a prince and you're no more than a northern vulture.
Hey, listen, I'm just going to say right now, who's the one who's like being threatened to get the war declared against them?
Can I ask a question to Germany real quick? What happened to like Pax Germana? We're all gonna be happy, friendly. We're all gonna not kill each
Cologne
other
wasn't
and
a part
have
of Pax
peace.
Cologne wasn't a part of Pax Germana.
Oh, so who's gonna not be a part of the
Yeah, Norman Ferrat is, and you're threatening me, the founder of the Pax Germanica decree, the founder, me. Yes.
I mean the pusher. I'd say more the pusher than the founder.
I love how, like, in a couple
I thought the
seconds,
idea
we've
of the
had
Pax Germanica
Italy
decree.
blow up.
I wanted to be friendly.
And then he ripped it
Then
up.
Germany blow up.
Germany hasn't really
I
blown
swore
up
it.
so much as had a little.
I think it's helpful for both the people in Discord and the people in the chat to know a few basic facts before we go into yelling at each other.
Or alternative facts. Okay, go ahead.
Alternative facts.
The basic facts were that after the new player came to Cologne, Mr. Bavaria thought it necessary that we create a pact to support each other, which is great and fine, and I worked with him with it. I should mention at this point that he was the one who specifically did not want Cologne to be in that deal.
Who was?
Yeah, but there was a reason.
Bavaria.
The first thing that Cologne said to me and to other people was to kill each others. So if you say, "Hey, I want you to kill your ally," fuck, I will protect my ally. I wouldn't get anything of Cologne. I don't care about getting anything of Cologne. I wanted to protect Robert, and I wanted to protect me.
The question is though, would you rather them alive right now or dead?
I think.
Repeat.
Would you, as Bavaria, rather them alive or dead right now? Is the question.
I am not understanding you. I'm sorry.
Would you want Cologne to be alive or Cologne to be dead in the current situation? I mean, if it's the Cologne player we're talking about.
Use the silence to interrupt real quick. I got to be going. So interview over. You guys can keep arguing if you want. But thanks for the
I'd
game.
like to point out that
Screw you.
Bavaria looks
Peaceful,
almost exactly like
non-aggressive,
historical Austria.
likable Granada is on his way out. So I'll see you.
Good night, Damien.
Bavaria has basically taken over.
Never interviewed
replaced
Bonnie
all-
Khalid.
Look at the.
Alright, so I'm also going to head off, so I want to thank you all very much for watching the stream. It has been a fun session. I didn't get anything from Montferrat as I wanted to, but we expanded a little bit, and we've consolidated our power. We just need to deal with this fucking peasants' rebellion bullshit. And yeah, so if you join in next week, then we shall have a bit more fun in EU4. So anyway, I'm going to end the stream now. So thanks all again for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.